be driving you in grind style this morning and giving you the best in sport presentation. My name's the remain Franklin Imona, the one you love to call Uncle Fine Boy, the finest uncle talking sports in the capital city and beyond. Quickly rush to your YouTube app and click on the YouTube address Voice of the People 96.1 Abuja, and that is VOP 96.1 Abuja, and there you get to meet us live on the show.
Okay, like he did say, come on. It's all about sport and sport and sport. What do? You can follow us on social media. You can follow us on Radio Garden. Just ensure that you listen to the show. Okay, we'll move on right now. We'll go straight into the newspaper headlines.
The newspaper headlines.
Okay, guys, let's start off from all the way from Complete Sports. And where else? We'll start off from Nigeria, where this one says, Nadozie makes crucial penalty save as informed Paris FC extend winning run. It says, Ferdinand, Man City arch favorite to win the Champions League. Africa Games 2023, Aruna Edem wins silver, bronze medals in table tennis. And the NPFL finds National and Jet Tornadoes for security breach. Now we hear Nigerian football needs radical revolution. Senator Shehu Sani Usime may join Man City or PSG. This is according to Emmanuel Petit. Done deal. Ex-Eaglet star Lucia Gopin's new contract at Russian club Krasnodar. And Alonso reviews positive update on Boniface's return. And in the Champions League, here is Man City Madrid reach Champions League quarter-final as Atata give update on Martinelli injury. Before we leave Complete Sport, let's give you this one coming in. We hear that, like I told you, Flying Eagles will do Nigeria proud in Ghana, according to Lara Boso. And Peseros thanks Nigeria, seeks support for Super Eagles.
And from a Punch Sports newspaper, let's begin from the local scene as this one reads, Jibade wins Atletico Player of the Month award. And Eguavon not Eagles interim coach, says NFF. And one man has come out to say that the Visa unveils Salah as brand ambassador. Visa unveils Salah as brand ambassador, and family friends honor Akube with novelty match. All right, let's continue from the local scene as this one says, Nigeria shine in table tennis team event. Olowu vows to return stronger after knockout loss. And the World Anti-Doping Agency, and that is WADA, suspends Africa's only anti-doping laboratory. This is a shocking news for me, and it's one news that sincerely, I do not like what WADA has done. Alright, so let's progress on the newspaper headline. This one says, respects Man City now belongs among European heavyweights. Guardiola is speaking. Mbabwa targets NPFL title Golden Boot, and that is from the Nigerian Premier Football League. And Fury Joshua cross pass in Saudi. And Madrid suffered in Leipzig draw to reach Champions League quarterfinals. And finally, from Punch Sports newspaper, this one says Eagle gets into the boost ahead of FIFA break.
Okay, now we move to the Sporting Live, and this one, let's start off from women football, where drama after the launch as USA set up Gold Cup final with Brazil. PSL, Nwabali keeps clean sheet as Chippa United claim another win. For the boxing, where Fury sets to fight Usyk with blood everywhere despite cut eye. Liverpool star Salah returns for Sparta Prague tie after injury. Real Madrid edge past Leipzig into USL Champions League quarterfinals. Haaland on target as Man City cruise into quarterfinals. It's a very hard competing in the final. Aruna, Ronaldo's Man United return was a wrong call. Rangers host on the 17 ambassadors after Youth League exploit. And Osi Umeiro, MFL to host African camp in Nigeria.
And from a Vanguard newspaper, this one says 2023 games, talking about the All-African Games, Kadri wins Nigerians' second medal in table tennis. And this one says, I consider leaving Super Eagles. I didn't speak with Pesaro, who is saying that. Get your hands on Vanguard Sports to find out. And Lightning will strike twice, says Ngano's coach, ahead of fight with Anthony Joshua. Lightning will strike twice, says Ngano's coach, ahead of fight with Anthony Joshua. Real Madrid survived scares to edge past Leipzig into Champions League semi-finals. Quarter-finals, I beg your pardon. And this one says, Alan on target as Man City cruise into Champions League quarter-finals. Liverpool star Salah returns for Sparta Prague after injury. And Paris police are cracking down on sex workers before Olympics. Russians, Belarusians barred from Paralympic opening ceremony. And still in the Champions League, Man City star breaks finger in horror injury. And finally, from a Vanguard newspaper, Mbappe bags brace as PSG reach Champions League quarterfinals. And Anthony Joshua to get 64 billion naira from Ngano's fight. I think I should consider boxing. 64 billion naira, despite the result. Boxing is the real deal.
Okay, guys, and finally on the newspaper, we go to the Nation, where indeed the returns to action excite Leicester coach. Egypt, Nigeria, Algeria advance into the quarterfinals of this Africa Games. That's in team table tennis. Rivers Hoopers enlist Wilkins for Basketball African League. We'll tell you about that more. European League, Liverpool, Salah returns for Sparta Prague tie after injury. We also know that Saudi showdown, Ronaldo Fury posts for pictures with Joshua. Adam, to more football, yeah, Ancelotti risks 4-year jail term over tax. Finally, we have official 326,000 tickets for Paris 24 Olympic opening ceremony sold. Wow, that's a good one for the Paris. Now we move straight, we do it to the local scene.
News from the local scene.
And then we'll start off from more order, but from that sad story coming all the way from South Africa, where World Anti-Doping Agency WADA has suspended the accreditation of South African Bloemfontein Anti-Doping Laboratory, the only accredited laboratory in Africa for multi-known communities with international standard. WADA has announced that it has suspended the accreditation of Africa's only accredited anti-doping laboratory from the 1st of March due to non-compliance to meet international standard. In a statement, WADA said it has suspended the accreditation of South African anti-doping laboratory for up to 6 months.
Spot Bishop, when I saw this news yesterday, it indeed broke my heart. The only anti-doping laboratory that we have right here in Africa has been suspended, and it simply means any testing that will be conducted on any athletes here in Africa, we must have to travel to Europe to get it done. And over there, we must bend to their rules. Whatever result they release, we must accept it. But come on, when we are talking about Africa, we know the diet that we majorly consume, and that is carbohydrate and a little of fat and warmth. But with these, it simply means that it's going to be a long way for Africa. Now, this is what WADA actually reported when they suspended the Bloemfontein laboratory. It says that the suspension prohibits the laboratory from conducting any anti-doping activities, including the analysis of urine and blood samples, with the exception of analysis related to the hematology modules of the athlete biological report, WADA says in a statement. Come on, WADA, come on.
Come on, if they have made a mistake, if the laboratory has not confirmed the standard, for my opinion, I think the right thing should be done. Anyway, moving on, guys. Let's move on to basketball, where we know ahead of the 2024 Africa Basketball League, AS Douane of Senegal has acquired the services of Ibrahim Thomas for the upcoming Africa Basketball League. AS Douane will play host to Rivers Super, APR Rwanda, and US Monarchs stay in the Sahara Conference of BAL. Thomas is vastly experienced in the BAL, played for AS Police in 2021 and US Monarchs stay in 2023. Still talking BAL, we had a Nigerian representative at the BAL has signed John Wilkins for this season edition. Wilkins was part of the Stade Malian team that finished third at the last season's edition. He dropped an impressive 18 points in their win over Cape Town Tigers. I was awarded the Visit Rwanda Player of the Game in the quarterfinal of the 2023 BAL. Good one for Rivers Hooper. This is from hearing, this is the third import into the Nigerian team as they play for BAL. It tells you the mean business. Don't forget, no Nigerian team has won a single game at the BAL.
Get to the best hands and of course the best legs for such a competition like this. To me, it is a laudable achievement. It's something we continue must appreciate Rivers Hoopers, because it's something that's moving forward. Their wealth of experience and exposure will be influential in the team, especially the player that was signed, Kelvin Anayo Amario, such a great player coming from the favorites in the US. To be precise, it only spells that this team means business, and regardless of what happened, I'm seeing him influencing other basketballers in the team to go all out to win and win big for the country.
And I'm moving on now. We go straight to Africa Games. We hear the Minister of Sport Development, Senator John Owen Eno, has charged the Nigerian contingent to the Africa Game taking part in Ghana to conquer Africa. Addressing the athletes on the board of the aircraft scheduled to take them to Ghana for the tournament shortly before the takeoff at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium in International Airport, I beg your pardon, in Abuja. The minister assured them that the entire nation was solidly behind them. He further stated that although some of the athletes may be representing the country for the first time, the tournament affords them the opportunity to make the nation proud. He also promptly said that no athletes will be shortchanged, as they will promptly pay all the allowances due to the athletes, stating that no athletes, like I said earlier, will be such. Nigeria was 1 second in the last edition, winning 46 goals, 33 silvers, and 48 bronze. Can they go one step further and become the champions of Africa?
And the big question is, have they been shortchanged before? Yes, because that is some of the questions that Nigerians are asking. That's when the minister have come out to reassure them that look, no athlete will be shortchanged. But come on, we know the new Minister for Sport Development, Senator John Enooma, is actually one man that lives to his talk. He talks and he makes sure that his words, he back it up with action. A good one for him and to the athletes, encouraging them and gingering them to go all out to do better than what they did in the last edition. For me, I see a rejuvenated Team Nigeria going by what the likes of Offiong Edim did, and of course Aruna Kadri. The medals after the piling, it doesn't matter which kind of medals at the moment, but one thing for sure that I know is that Team Nigeria will be among the top. Not top two, top.
And also good news talking about tennis. We hear the male and female team are through to the quarterfinals of the team event. We've won bronze and silver in the singles. Now they've gone to the quarterfinals. Can they go ahead and get us at least 2? Don't forget, Egypt is still there anyway. Our perennial
3 golds yesterday. The Egyptians are giants, the likes of Asal Omar, one man that anytime Aruna Kodri seizes him, there's something more like a shiver that runs down his spines. 3 times Omar has knocked Kadri in the final.
When will I take over from you?
But the good news for us, we are in the quarterfinals. We are just one step into at least the medal podium, and that's in the semi-final. I wish them all the best, and I will be rooting for them to go all out.
And then quickly before we leave them, the local scene, we hear that Boniface will be returning as early as the 30th of March or the 3rd of April, either against Hoffenheim or against Fortuna Düsseldorf. That's according to Alonso, the coach of Bayern Munich.
Bayer Leverkusen,
I beg your pardon. And also did the return against Leicester City, played 20 minutes in their win against in the championship. It was not part of the Nations Cup. He was been out for 3 months, but the good thing is back. He played against Sunderland on Tuesday, and the good news for Spurs Nigeria ahead of the World Cup qualifiers.
Absolutely, coming against the Southampton and being the player of the match. He won the man of the match award, as well as making the Champions League team of the week. Good news for Wilfred Ndidi And a bigger news for Bayer Leverkusen's Victor Boniface. This man has been out injured since December, and he was not part of the Super Eagles in the Afcon. But Xabi Alonso missed his services up front, trusting in the firepower of his fullback. Surprisingly, Frimpong and Grimaldo, those guys have been doing so well. But having a Boniface and having a Victor Osimhen, who has now rediscovered his form, and the likes of Alex, he will be scoring, and not forgetting Calvin Bassey manning the defense with reckless abandon. Even though Truss Ekong is out, it's only disaster for South Africa.
We had the Nigeria Premier League board has fined Nigeria those 3 million naira for failing to provide adequate security in their home game against Rangers last weekend. They have 48 hours to appeal the decision. We hear they're currently occupying 18th position in relegation zone, 24 points from 22 games. On that note, we'll move over to the foreign scene.
Let's take you to the foreign scene.
It's no news that we now know the first 4 teams that have made it to the Champions League quarterfinal. Yesterday it was Paris Saint-Germain with a brace from Kylian Mbappe, and then Bayern Munich also going through with a brace from Erling Haaland. And I tell you, the striker show continued yesterday, and it was Vinicius Jr. and of course no other, the man we love to call Erling Haaland, scoring, extending his run to ensure that Man City cruise again on aggregate, winning that one. Wow, 5-2 on aggregate against an FC Copenhagen team who struggled throughout that encounter.
It was no brainer for me yesterday. Some the likes of Manchester City and Real Madrid are progressing into the quarterfinals, but Real Madrid had to sweat through their balls and their ears to get the job done. 1-1 it ended in the game against Leipzig yesterday, where Vinicius Jr. put Real Madrid ahead, only for a certain Auburn to equalize for RB Leipzig, not gift Auburn now. But yes, it was a pulsating game, Sport Bishop. It was an end-to-end footballer for Real Madrid, but good one, celebrating their 122 years of existence, and they had to cap it all with progression into the next stage of the UCL. It is something that Carlo Ancelotti must be commended, as well as his team. And moving over to Manchester City, who can stop Alan? Alan is on the heels of Kylian Mbappe and Harry Kane in the race for the Golden Boot Award for the UCL this season. But come on, 6-2 on aggregate. Pep Guardiola is saying, respect us now. We are officially among the big wigs in Europe.
Now looking at the 4 teams that have made it through to the next round: Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern Munich, Man City, and of course, not forgetting
Real Madrid.
These guys are big guns, man. I think from the quarterfinals there will be no more pushovers in the Champions League.
And looking at this team that have progressed, they are all past winners.
Absolutely.
At one point, Paris Saint-Germain won it.
Paris Saint-Germain has not won it, unfortunately.
In their history?
Yes.
Are you sure?
But they look like a team that have won it because of the players they've got.
The players they've got in 2020, and I was mistaking them for Ajax in 1996, and Borussia Dortmund in 97. Bayern Munich also won it, of course. They are the second most successful team in the Champions League. Of course, Real Madrid, the king of Europe, and Manchester City, defending champions. These are teams on a good day that can win it. Kylian Mbappe or not, Paris Saint-Germain on paper has what it takes, but on the field of play,
before we leave the Champions League, is PSG nothing without Kylian Mbappe? We saw that on the game against
absolutely. Over the weekends, in the last 2 weekends in their game in the French Ligue 1, we saw the absence of Kylian Mbappe, how it created a loophole in the attack of Paris Saint-Germain, and his presence in the Champions League. 3 goals against the 2 legs against their opponents, scoring in the first leg and getting a brace in the second leg. Come on, Paris Saint-Germain is idolized by Kylian Mbappe.
Now let's move to Madrid quickly. There's trouble in paradise around there. Jude Bellingham has been given a 2-match ban for his issue with Gil Manzano, the referee, against Valencia de Mestalla. We hear that Madrid appealed it and they have failed in their appeal. They said according to the Spanish Football Federation, they said the player showed contempt and disregard towards Manzano. So 2-match ban for Ancelotti. Not good news for him. We hear he's accused of tax fraud by the Spanish prosecutors, and we hear that he should be jailed for 4 years. That's what they are crying to the judge for. 4 years and 9 months that he was avoiding the 1 million euros in tax. That is 857,000 £854,000. They said this was the last time he was the coach, not recently, but as far back as 2014, 2015, when he was the coach of Real Madrid.
Teke mene infarism. This is what I'm seeing. The hands of Barcelona all over Real Madrid. But come on, Sport Bishop.
Yeah.
Jude Bellingham facing suspension. Vinicius Jr. being racially abused. The coach being charged for fraud. And before you know, they will tell you Real Madrid is a fraud as a club. Spanish La Liga administration, do something to Madrid. They must not win the. Come on. This is something that is quite common in Spanish La Liga.
Absolutely.
When it comes to tax fraud. The line of
Messi, Ronaldo, the
Suarez, you can name them again and again. These are players at one time that were fingered for evading tax. Carlo Ancelotti, to me, it's no news that he has been fingered. Only time will tell. And perhaps if he goes to court too or see how this can be sorted out, I know he will win the appeal. But one thing I can tell you is that Carlo is not going to jail.
Okay, guys, our full result of game played yesterday. Manchester City 3, FC Copenhagen 1, Real Madrid 1, RB